can you hear? What can you hear? Don't.
It sounds like a phone like 4 miles away.
Like me?
No, like I can hear myself. But it sounds like it's through a speaker. Oh, wait. It might be. My own speaker. No, it's not my own speaker. God, okay.
What do you mean?
Whatever. Welcome to the Unconsenting Governed. I'm AJ.
I am Nova.
And oh my God.
We will get there eventually.
We will. I hope so.
All right.
Some point. So, yeah, hot week. Looks like our boy went to the hospital again.
Yeah.
What for?
I mean,
I know I go to the doctor a couple times a year, but I have, health problems. Apparently, for somebody that's as fit as him, he spends a lot of time there,
But yeah, that makes me laugh so hard because it's like, how can you even say that? Like, you don't have health problems and stuff, and just pretend like you're just going to the doctor on a regular basis.
Well, yeah,
I don't get it.
Duh, he's the fittest man to ever hold the presidency, or a Big Mac, whatever.
A Big Mac, yeah, that's awesome.
So, and apparently, Peepaw slipped up today and basically told everybody that if they don't pass the SAVE Act, that the Democrats will lose or whatever. I don't know. It was backwards. It was like, I don't think that's how that works, bud. But okay.
Yeah, yeah, he's a trip right now. He's a real big trip. I think he just knows he's screwing up everything. Like, I think he just knows he doesn't stand a chance in hell.
Right.
Which is fine by me. I mean, do what you do.
Yeah, and in other news, the Antichrist. I mean,
yes.
Noodle, apparently has prostate cancer. Alleged.
I mean, I've heard that as well. I mean, we just let that happen, I guess. Just give him the prostate and let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard. I mean, I think I heard that like a couple weeks ago, to be honest.
Yeah, apparently I'm on the last to find out, which it happens that way, when you have no mainstream media. So.
Yeah, I think I want to say that I heard that like last week or the week before last, but that's fine. Either way, they said he was going to make a fine recovery, but this was all about the same time that he was having like no one saw him for a while and everything else that was going on. So it made me like, did he or didn't he? You know what I mean? Like, what is going on?
I sincerely thought that that man had left this mortal coil, so I still am not over the fact that he is still with us.
Yeah, let it. Yeah, yeah. I'm not convinced because every video I've seen of him so far has been. What the hell happened to my camera right there? He's just very much like, I don't know, AI. I don't know what to call like what I'm seeing out of him. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I feel
it doesn't look real. It doesn't look real at all.
No, it looks very disingenuous, I guess is a good way of saying it. I don't know. But yeah. The other thing going on is that the ETA lawsuit is progressing. It is making its
which
way
is
through the courts. So.
which is fantastic news. It is fantastic news. We need all of that we can get. Oops.
Absolutely.
So let it happen. What else we have to do to make that? What the shit? Whatever else we need to do to make that go through. Like I will volunteer as tribute. I will find people to, I don't know, go through lawsuits. I don't know.
I fear that timeline for that it has sailed. So at 22 months, they destroy the tallies, and we know that. So like in Cambria County, Pennsylvania, they're gonna set them aside, but because there was an order for that, but other areas might not be the case. I'm hoping that sometime soon, like this summer, it'll trigger in Cambria County, and then they will realize that there's shenanigans afoot, and perhaps it'll grow from there. That's my hope, but I think unfortunately they did the right thing to find plaintiffs, but it took an awful lot of time to find plaintiffs for that case.
Yeah, I get it, and that's going to be hard. And I think there's a lot of people who are just trying to figure out like what the hell they're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? Like, for a while, it was kind of taboo again to have those conversations. So it's kind of just nice to see it happen. See those people volunteer, get the words out. But I don't think a lot of people even knew, unless they were in our circle, I guess, for lack of better words, in our little atmosphere. A lot of people weren't talking about the election. They weren't talking about whether their votes got counted or how to look. And a lot of people don't even know how to look. So,
right. Yeah, that is a thing that we definitely will have to cover closer to contest season.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how to look and like make sure you're in the right places and all that jazz.
Yeah, definitely everybody across the country, every state, every person, regardless of whatever race that you live amongst, you really need to check your voter registration status well ahead of time. Make sure you have plenty of time to go ahead and register for all that. Because yeah, it's. I mean, you have been doing a lot more research on the whole process. I don't know if you want to try to code word your way around it, because it is challenging to do that. It's very hard, but.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I could do my best. So like, I mean, if you go, we could start just as easy, just to make sure you're registered. Yeah. Whatever you do, go back to whatever state you live in, look up, and most of them are .gov, and you can look right up to make sure that you can. Whoa. Yeah, your camera.
I can move my.
I'm getting dizzy.
No, I'm just trying to position. Well, and then you saw like my junk pile, because this is still a storage room.
It's fine. Yeah, make sure you're still registered to vote. Make sure you can see everything you need to see. Make sure that everybody in your household is registered to vote. And make sure your registration is still active. Check it regularly, because they're dumping as much as they can.
Yeah.
But that's just general information. But you should be able to go to like your state website. You should have and you could I know that there's other websites too, like I think it's checkmyvote.gov or something like that too. That you can check to make sure that you're actually registered. So
right, yeah.
Make sure you have that. To go through the process, to explain the process, this part's going to be a little bit more complicated. So no matter what state you live in, all those fun things, you will go to your station. And this is in person, so this is the part that gets a little funky. So in person, you go to your station, and let's just say you pick your candidate. How are we coding this as much as we can? So you're going to go up to your computer and you're going to push your button that says I like peas, and then it will go through in two ways, right? So and then it will print out on your paper. Your paper will go out. You'll hand in your paper to the other machine that says yes, so and so likes peas, and it will go into the system, right? And it gets uploaded not only on that system but into a secondary system, and the secondary system is for 39 states. It is called Clarity. That system is time stamped and recorded, but it also goes out and it feeds out to like your CNN, your Fox, your ABCs, your everything else, right? So it goes, the ERN goes here. Clarity is one of the big companies that does this, right? From there, that information gets pushed out to the universe through all the tickers and stuff that you see on your screens. So you're looking for I like peas versus I like carrots, and those are the numbers you're getting. 10 people like peas, 4 people like carrots, whatever. It's all coming from that same database. It's really kind of hard to tell what goes from here. So at one point in our world, you could go inside that database and you could see how often everything was put into that system and how often everything was dumped out of that system. And now that every person in the world could do this, it's easier to explain and understand if you live in the coding world. But there's just different timestamps and stuff in the coding world that you could look this stuff up and you can see, so many thumbs up for I like peas, so many thumbs up for I like carrots. Where'd you just disappeared?
I did. My audio went out. I didn't want it to run. I didn't want it.
Oh, and your audio. Oh, because your screen's gone. Your audio's gone.
Yeah, it did.
It's all good.
No, my audio went out. My microphone.
Oh, your microphone went out. It threw me off really bad.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to just turn this up, and hopefully people can hear me without an actual microphone.
I can hear you, but you're echoing now. There's feedback.
Okay, this is fun.
It's probably because it's going through the phone, through the speaker, through the phone. Maybe, I don't know. It's gonna be one of those days.
It is. It already is. Yes. But go ahead, keep going. Try to.
See, we had Terry. Is Terry still around?
No, Terry left. I think. Yeah.
Maybe
Terry's gone.
Except for what the fuck? No audio for you. Cool. We are cursed.
Oh Lord. Yeah, we're just we're fun.
Cursed.
So much fun. There we go. I don't know.
Oh, nope.
Nope.
We're feedbacking through. Do you want me to just quit this live and just go onto the unconsenting page and we could just start from there?
We can. I think I don't think it's gonna work today for whatever reason.
All right. No, that's fine. I'll just jump over there or stay on there, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch the audio through though to make it easier.
That's fine. I'm just sorry that my mic isn't working for your.
No, you're fine. I'm just gonna dump. Oh, I'm gonna end here.
Okay, that works.
Hold on.
Oh wow.
Can you hear me okay?
Oh yeah, I can actually hear you.
Oh, good. Crystal clear. Even better. Okay. Let's see, what else?
Yeah.
Oh, I need to plug it in so it's charging still, or else it'll die. You're all good. Yeah, today's just been a weird day. I think I need a vacation.
I feel you. I feel you, because it's like, even, like, you would think after so long working towards the same goal and it finally coming through, I'm just like, okay, well, that's nice. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm tired. Like, I don't know how else to say it.
No, you're fine. I get it. It's been weird.
It has.
And
it has.
I'm leaving the studio. Leave it. Get out of there. It's trying to pick up my camera and stuff in the background. It's totally weird. Yeah. So let me go back to my.
I'm gonna put my little clicker thing on. But yeah. I mean, we might just want to start this bad boy over again.
Yeah. I was gonna say let's do the same thing. I'm gonna do one thing though, real quick.
No,
you're good.
Do you want me to get out of this and then come back in, or no?
No, you're good.
Okay.
We'll just get we'll start the audio from here.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I feel like I'd have to run this through whatever software and cut the whole beginning of it.
Yeah.
Because it sucks, because, like, there's a couple, well, we'll have to just restart explaining the whole situationship.
Yeah, absolutely. You're all good. Okay. This is...
I'm just trying to
what are you doing?
I don't know.
Oh, I hit the wrong button on the other thing, and now it's telling me goofy things, so it's all stupid. Okay, so you wanna do full start over it?
We can. Hold on, I'm just trying to actually, like, set this up, and then I'll be ready.
I turn off. Yeah. Where'd I put the other piece? I'll find it later. It's all funny.
Okay. There we go. Got my little thingy thing.
Nice.
I'll just put that down there. All right, so we're going to take 2 on this. This is the Welcome to the Unconsenting Governed. I am AJ.
And I am Nova.
And holy crap, what the heck? It's
to
been
say
a week.
the least.
It's been a week. So homeboy went for his 3rd annual physical, because that's normal.
That's how we do.
It's so normal.
That's how we do here in the US of A, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Annuals mean every 3 months.
Exactly. Apparently.
I mean, if you're Victoria's Secret, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the problem. He's used to that lifestyle.
Maybe. It could be. I mean, anything's really possible. But I just feel like it's, I don't know. I kind of feel like it's, I keep hoping. I really keep hoping.
That it's just going to be the last one. One last doctor visit to rule them all.
Well, and then, we were just talking about how his buddies, his besties, Mr. Noodle Udle and, the man from the cold country, they, they're not doing so great. The little trifecta there ain't going so good,
Yeah, they all have a little bit of problems back and forth or something. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. I just know that I just keep hoping every day. Just keep
swimming.
Just keep on hoping that we're gonna. Yeah. But.
I mean, the tides have to be turning, right? At some point, like, we have to admit that things aren't going well. Like, right. JD's talking about, like, not running for 2028. You've got, I think I heard today that Mike Johnson, like, stood him up. He was supposed to have a meeting with him, and he just decided not to go.
Oh, trouble in paradise. I didn't hear about JD not wanting to run in 2028. I every now and again I just got to live under a rock for a minute, but I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah, like now that he hasn't said it out loud,
Mm-hmm.
but like I guess just from what he said, it just was he wasn't planning on being involved in 2028. Something along those lines.
Oh, I wonder if
So
Usha has told him like, you might not want to. You might not like the outcome if you keep fucking around because you will find out. You know that kind of thing.
right. Well, yeah, it has to be something because he's just not. I mean, he's digging himself a hole anyway. Let's be honest with all the things that he does, and says and acts and all that fun stuff. Like he just constant like that man couldn't tell the truth if it landed in the middle of his plate. Like he just lies
Right.
about all the shit. So it's not all that surprising that Usha's like, listen, this is clearly. I mean, my wife would be put in the smackdown, and not that she's like controlling or anything, but like you got to admit when things are starting to mess with your personality and your
Yeah.
morals.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah. Yeah. There's nothing. Yeah. I mean, what are you gonna? Yeah. I feel like it also just could be the fact that it's like the most openly corrupt administration, and she might be like, "You sure about that?"
right,
Like you might not want to be as associated as much with something along those lines. I mean,
well, I
Usha
mean, and
doesn't strike
she's
me as dumb, so
no, and she's a lawyer too, right? Like I'm not
yes.
crazy thinking of that. So
No,
like
she
that's
is. She has clerked under Supreme Court justices. I think they
that's
were
right.
more conservative, but whatever. I mean, Roberts really isn't the pillar of, if it was Alito or, um, I want to say it was Roberts. Now I'm wondering. Let me look. But yeah, she's she clerked right before he ran under for right before this whole thing happened where he became the vice president. Before he got asked to be a part of the administration, part of the regime.
Yeah. So being in the law, you would think that she wouldn't want anything going on there. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I sure as fuck wouldn't want to be in a place like that. That's a hefty.
No. No, not at all. Like yeah, cuz I'm looking up still to see, hold on, career. Um
You know.
Where's it? John Roberts, yeah. 2017 to 2018. So, I mean, he's a moderate, so I mean, leans conservative, but more moderate than conservative. So, it's just, yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, but I feel like her having another baby, and I mean, I feel like that would swing about any situation. Like if you're having, how many kids do they have? 4 now. They're about to have 4.
I think this is their fourth. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, she might be like, yeah, motherfucker. I don't know. I don't know if Usha's like that, but but other things. Well, go ahead. I see.
You know, I would say
thinking.
I don't know if she is either, but I still think that there has to be a point in your relationship where you're like, we need to draw the line.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she seems to be smart enough to realize that if he continues down the road that he's on, he's gonna end up, on the bad side of. He's gonna end up in the bad place. No, but he's gonna end up on the bad side of the ethics, and he'll do actual jail time where old Dumpty Pants isn't gonna do shit. She's probably trying to advise him to get out while plausible deniability is still going to be an option for him. You get to a point where, really, you didn't know? You really didn't know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you I don't know how many legs, like you said, like I said, like I don't know how if they're going to be able to deny it anytime soon. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be a point where she's just going to stand there and just be like, you got to admit you fucked that. Like, you stood right there and said all the things.
Right.
So, I
Well,
mean,
and I also feel like as this unfolds, as this rolling car crash that is the, what Ashley St. Clair is talking about, what is kind of proven a lot of us to be correct. Do I want to hear him crazy again? I don't. You know what? You know what is
No.
funny? Side note. So Hawk like wrote us off a long time ago. Well, all of a sudden he's adding people back, and it's like no.
Really?
Mm-mm. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, I knew he. So I know that he said at one point, he said, like he started this like the blue MAGA or like the blue, like, you know what I mean, like that.
Blue MAGA. Yep, that's
Yeah,
us.
like all that conversation about all of this that was going on, and then today he kind of like he started to change his tune, because I noticed he had one today that said like, well, tampering, that's not the same as, and I was like, okay,
No,
buddy,
we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not hiding behind semantics. I'm sorry, but no.
right?
Because I firmly believe that the difference between somebody that feels similarly to us and somebody that feels similarly to what Hawk et al. Was saying, because it's like he's like the ringleader of their little side, it's the neurodivergence. We're the neurodivergent ones. That's what it is. I'm completely convinced that's what it is. Because if you look at everything else, it's pretty similar, except for their inability to wrap their head around it, because to them, this should have been a fixable thing. And we kept saying, it's not going to be fixable. If we don't do something like yesterday, it's not going to be fixable. And then we kept saying, like, we need to, hello. And then we let that ship sail. And guess what? We can't put tallies in to get rid of this.
Right.
It's not going to fix it.
And I think that
surprise.
as much as everyone doesn't, I mean, as much as a lot of people don't want to talk about it, or in general don't want to acknowledge it, like, we have to talk about the fact that Massey's, the turnout for Massey was insane.
Right.
Well, against, I shouldn't say for, but in that, for a primary, and you look at all the other primaries in the area, and look at the numbers that were there, like,
when I looked at his district, here was my concern, because, and I did not come out and say immediately that there was tampering, because, and I'm going to explain this, because it's not that I've switched sides, it's not that I feel, I just wanted to make sure, because of the area in the state that he resides in, and that is because it is greater Cincinnati, and I live here, so it's like I know what I'm seeing, I know what the vibes are vibing. We are also the same city that has produced J.D. Vance and Erica Kirk. So it's one of those where, most of the people that I live amongst, that I work with, have not been talking about Epstein. So that's why I wanted to make sure before I definitely said, because to me it's like I know what the numbers are, and yes, it is an anomaly that there was such a difference. I'm not saying that there isn't, but I am also looking at, especially on that side of the, you have to look at the demographics of who is across that river, okay?
Right.
And how weird shit gets. And I'm not trying to offend anybody from Kentucky or from Tennessee, but things get a little weird. If you really want to have a really fun experience, take your ass to Kentucky, to Walmart in the middle of the night, or like towards closing time. You will see some wild shit. Like one time, I gotta tell you this, and then I'll move on from this. So I was in Walmart in Kentucky, because that was the easier one for me to go to. The one that it was closest to me was Ratchet AF, and I was afraid I was going to get, pew-pewed in the Walmart. So I went across the river to the one in Fort Mitchell, Kentucky. Either way, I'm walking around, and I see a father, a son, and a wife, okay? Father just looks like a regular dude, has his New Balances on, has some jean shorts. It's summertime, life is good, right? The son just looks like Bobby Hill. Again, normal for where we're at. The wife was covered head to toe in green tattoos had the implants in her forehead to make her look like a bearded dragon, and had individual scales. And you could tell you could tell when she would like, get paid and then have to stop because she had large areas where there was no scales and it was just green.
Oh, wow.
I'm not kidding. It is wild down there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not I guess I shouldn't say, like, I'm not,
my predicament. I didn't want to be like, yeah, look at this. I'm like, watch this blow up right in my face if I'm not careful. Like,
yeah. And I guess from my standpoint, and we're not far away from each other, so like I get it, and I've been down there. I guess it wasn't so much like if and when and all that other stuff. It was just the mass number of votes.
Well, and if it was any other state, any other district, I might not question it as much. But being from here and seeing and living amongst people that I know, like, there's still a lot of hardcore Democratic haters here. Like, that feel like, Trump is daddy, that kind of crap. That's like, we are like Florida. Like, we're a swamp. Just like Florida. We're the Florida of the Midwest.
Yeah, and I get it. It just felt like.
Yeah. No, I know. I know the numbers.
Nobody.
Numbers
nobody goes out, like, if you think about those folks and everything that goes on in our region. Yeah. A lot of them don't do primaries because they can't get off work. And they have it's not the it's not the demographic that is like free to leave as much to do like, we don't get time off for primaries, so you got to make your way there, and it's just not they're just not normally the folk, the demographic in general. I think it's like a 30% turnout on average for any primary, so not Democratic, not Republican in general, just any of them. And to have those numbers be as high as they were, like, holy fucking shit. Like, he would have, like, in my brain, he would have had to have started a fire, like, on everything in town for those numbers, for them to come out that hard, because he didn't any of his Epstein policies.
How big his district is? His district is massive. It envelops everything but the inner cities of Lexington and Louisville. That's a huge area, and it goes all the way past into Indiana, I think. Well,
yeah, I mean, it goes pretty far, pretty far over.
Yeah, his district is massive. This is not a small district, and this is the most populated district in northern Kentucky. You have to remember, everything south is Appalachia, like hardcore Appalachia.
Right. Well, and everything. I guess that was the other part is I checked to make sure that the district didn't change at all.
Yeah.
It was the same.
I thought they did, and they didn't, so I was wrong.
Yeah. It was the same between last and this. So that really made me go, I don't think so.
Did you see somebody for Senate has joined?
Really?
Yes. Good. Look at the...
Well, bring them on.
Hello. I don't know.
Oh, they might have left.
I don't know.
It's hard to say.
I can't tell. I don't know. But anyway, I mean, I think the timing of it, I feel like this, like, okay, with the St. Clair situation, like, I feel like she was waiting for the right opportunity to be like, hey, guess what?
Mm-hmm.
And I think Massey's was that chance. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, yeah, because I think she's been coming away from that whole lifestyle cult for a while. Like, she's been doing her thing, she's been doing the work, she's been spilling the tea, she's been saying things, etc. She's been doing it for a while. And people have been pushing and asking since, like, she started the Get Ready With Me videos. And that's fine, you know what I mean? Like, and she has spoken up against, like, she at one point in Inside the Cult wrote a book I don't remember the name of it, but it was basically like anti-trans, and has since
Oh.
taken her name off the book. Like off the book, it's no longer like associated with her whatsoever, other than there's like something in her agreement with the publisher, like it still is being published,
Hmm.
but it's not associated with her. No, she's not getting any royalties, anything like that. Like she's gone through and discussed it. Today she went on and talked about how there was like a murder, a black person murdered, and she wanted to bring attention to that as well, and talked about how like racial and disparaging and things like that. So like she is at least in front of the camera and making the steps, doing the things to change her life. I think one of the big things that she was talking about along the way is the corruption and the way that they treat women. So I think that that rolled into with the Massey, it definitely points in that direction.
Right.
That was like the final straw of her, because you can't just say it on a Wednesday. Like you have to have a reason. Like, because people are saying like, why'd you come forward now? And even if you're like, well, it just felt, the time felt right, you have to have kind of still something to like show why the timing is right. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that was just kind of like the perfect catalyst for. I could be wrong. I could have just guessed, but it just feels like the time is right. She already had people come out, like Marjorie Taylor Greene coming out, and we've talked about her several times and saying things, and she's not, I guess, actively being hunted. So I think like how much when you're in this place, like where that's a high concern and danger for you to speak up and speak out, like you kind of have to also worry about that aspect, and that's always something that made me a little nervous. You know, I wouldn't just scream it from the rooftop had I been in that situation where they knew my name, my address, my phone number, my family, my kids. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels not safe to just scream it without having a trial person and some reason to do so.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I feel like it's kind of what we all thought was happening, and I feel like it has helped to reinforce a lot of the methods that were used that we had uncovered. And I know you've been, I don't know if you want to start trying to code, walk people through that one in code.
Yes. So it's very interesting, and it's kind of hard to do. So like basically when you what you think you know when you go in. So you go into your station, you say I'm gonna go back to the I like peas and I like carrots, because it seems to be the easiest way to go about this.
Yeah.
So you go to your station, you were like, hey, I'm ready to tell people if I like peas or I like carrots. So you go into your station, they do all the things, whether you live in a state that requires ID or however, they look you up, they say, hey, you are who you say you are, and you go over to your machine, and your machine says hi, and you click your button that says I like peas, I like carrots, you choose peas. It prints out that long ass paper. You take that long ass paper over to the tabulator and you push it in, and you're done. And like that's what you think is done. Like it just counts on that machine and you walk away. There's actually another layer that people don't know about. So that layer, an election night reporting system. So the ENR, that is where they kind of push the information to all the networks so they can tell everybody what's going on live all day.
Those are the media banks.
Yes. So your Fox, AP, CNN, etc., right? And that is kind of like a database that just they get information in and they just go and they just report it. And it kind of goes through and just kind of does an auto ticker. It's set up as an API for anybody who knows coding world and things like that. So you kind of just add it to your feed and it just goes through and you can just do whatever. So since it is set up in that way, it is trackable, right? Well, it always has been, it always will be. So like there are, and I have to look into the other ones, but 39 states use the same system, which is called Clarity, right? Um, they used to have a different name, and they were acquired by a new owner, which happens to be an Argentine company, 4 months before 2024.
Also explains why somebody was on stage with a chainsaw
Right.
and the head of Argentinine's government.
Correct. So, yes. So that company, that Clarity, that holds the data for 39 states. Those 39 states include all 7 swings.
What are the odds?
Correct.
Well.
Right. Right. So your physical paper just goes into that machine. Those just kind of get stamped and thrown into storage boxes and locked away, and then there's a whole step to that, right? The other end of things is that information is...
Oh, you can't see with the background. I have a banker's box. So I was like, it goes into this.
Yeah. The other step of that, so it goes into the system. That system uploads, and it goes to the public, and it says, I like peas and I like carrots. Who likes more peas? Who likes more carrots, right? So from everything that we found in dealing and digging and everything else, and using some of the wording that has been brought to our attention through other things, it sounds like there is what I will refer to as a shadow database. So let's go back even further. Before all this started, you can go into Spaceman created a
Space
PAC.
Cannon.
Yes, created a PAC, and we'll call it the red, white, and blue PAC. And that PAC was supposed to be just like all the other ones for pre-elections, where they just do canvassing and just do things like that, and just kind of get information. But that PAC decided to be bigger, and they found a way to get a hold of a lot more information and created a database. So they found through using well, I'm trying to figure out the best way to put it. Information people were readily giving through just canvassing, information that was paid for, information that people put out there into the Never world, because people talk on lots of different media sites. So you think about, you've got your Facebook, and you've got your formerly known as twatter, and all these other things where people may have control over some of these databases as well, all fed into a giant database that said who was going and who wasn't going to go hang out that day to choose peas or carrots, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to do this with all the codes.
Right. It
so,
is, yeah.
So they created the shadow database that lived up in the laser world. So, while people were putting their papers in, and that ENR was getting all that information, it kind of just stayed there and dumped. And the shadow database shot out information to all the news organizations.
So it was an if-then. So in other words, if it reached a certain threshold, then it dumped a certain ratio from the extra pool into the main pool, which it should not be doing at all. That should not exist. So just to kind of clarify, I'm just trying to clarify the coding, because it is
Yeah.
It is kind of confusing when you're talking in code, because I'm like, okay, there we go. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, just because this is such an elaborate process.
It is. It
yeah.
is. I think the M&Ms that Blaine used was a good idea.
Yeah.
That does kind of show you what we mean by that. But yes, it's
Correct.
so that's why they need the lists of
Yes.
who can put in tallies, because it has to be updated.
So yeah, and part of the whole algorithm is that we know that, we'll use small numbers, 25 people voted today for peas and carrots from this place. And the database had to know that only 25 people said that they were going to do it, so that the numbers matched. So there wasn't a percent error for things to red flag, right? So that's why that statistical probability of enough to say I want everything, but not enough to require an audit.
Right. Yeah. That was the other part of it. It the algorithm had the if then, but it also had other quantifiers on it, so it wouldn't oversaturate the market.
Correct. Now, we'll use some of the words that Spaceman said. He used the phrase, how did he say it? Real-time delta vote metrics. Now, anybody who knows Greek or has taken a math class or anything knows that delta means change.
Yep.
So it's right in your face. Just makes it loud and clear, right? This explains how he knew hours before. This explains why he was still anxiously checking until a certain point. Because that certain point would trigger, and he would see it drop or not drop. And he would know whether to shit or just be like, we're good. You think about how your brain works. Like, I'm waiting till 10 o'clock, or I'm waiting till a specific number. I'm waiting till my bank account hits, $500, and $500 hits, and you're good. It's just that instant relief. I'm good. I'm going home. Because you've been anxious all day. You didn't know if your plan was going to work, right? So the only way to find out any of this is hand count, like we've all kind of been talking about the whole day, or the whole time. So
for like years, I feel like I've been talking about and recounts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there was a couple methods that was assumed at one point: the stored and dropped, the switched, and then the shadow. So like the stored and dropped would just be kind of like they had a hidden one and they just kind of stored and dropped it. This one was kind of like already planned throughout, using all of the data they already had. They could have already assumed you and I would say peas and our neighbors would say carrots, and just threw those in just to make sure things looked close to accurate. So there's one of two ways that it could have happened. It could have been pre-made out for the entirety of everything. So it goes back to everyone keeps saying that everything about what we do is clean, and it can't be done, and it can't be sawed from the machine standpoint, and to this point you're right, but from the ENR system forward, everything else is virtual based.
Yep.
So that's kind of where all that stuff. But there are certain things that kind of pushes more towards one or the other. But like there are definitely gaps that are the exact same numbers in different places, which makes you feel that there's already a database that was chosen from, and that was one of the databases that we accidentally found using the fact checker.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of great. And watching on the TV, those numbers
Move.
change
Yeah.
and move. So it points to like to those things. But okay, so here's the other fun portion of this. Prior to, and I don't know where the date turned off. This is one of the parts that we need more information on. That everything was, so when you use coding and everything gets locked in a library and stored. And that storage used to be accessible from the end times. You have proof of other people looking through these in past years and things along those lines. At some point, and I don't know when, but there is now a host not allowed error, which does not allow anybody to reach this database that was once public. And you know it was once public because I'm up until I think it was January, people had access because they was in a Google index, and it was in Wikipedia sites and other monitoring where they added information right from that database, but you can't get to it now. So that is part of the fun part.
I wonder if it's one of the space lasers.
That's the other thing. So according to Elon himself, there was about 10,000, and I'm trying to like look at my data points that I have saved here. I think there were actually 9,730 or something like that, and historically, about 73 a month will be kind of taken out of rotation. At that time, and I don't know if I have it in this document that I'm looking at right now, but at the time, right after that, like 500 or some crazy number were taken out of rotation. So a higher number than normal were taken out of rotation right after that.
Is that what we saw?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So when everyone saw them come down right afterwards and was like, red flags, and no, this is normal. Yes, it is normal for some of them to do that, but the numbers that did it versus the numbers that normally are very, very off. Trying to think of like other things that were big without giving away the whole plan. Let's see. I mean, he never denies it, I guess, is the one thing that's really kind of really important.
Well,
And
I'm not surprised by that because he's the TISM. They don't.
yeah,
We don't lie very well. I'm not surprised by that at all.
that's true. Oh,
Not
the
saying
other
he's ethical, but just
right. No. Yeah.
very concrete.
No, the other portion of this that's really important is that after this happened, and Buddy Boy got put in and everything else, we also have to think about Dog E that happened, because not only did they do all the things that we've said that they did, but they actually, right after that, created a larger database with all the information that we already know that they gave SSA data away.
Yeah, we did.
Voter agreements, things like that. All that stuff is now they have like a permanent, basically, database. And 4 days after, what does it say? It was like 4 days after. Oh, they stopped after it was found. They stopped Doge, but they not soon enough.
Well, but here's my question though. Yeah, I know about we do know what happened last week, but the other elections, the other like important ones, why didn't they why didn't they deploy it for that? Because they've lost more special contests since then.
That's a really yeah. I don't think. Well, if you look at time frames,
Like, are
they
they
lost.
picking certain races to what, like, use this on? That's my question.
I think a lot of the information that they gathered were based on certain things and certain people and certain metrics, and some of the other ones aren't as traceable through the internet. Do you know what I'm trying to
Oh,
say? So, like, if we're doing
maybe.
special elections in a heavily placed area where we don't have twatter information to be able to put out there because everyone
Oh,
on a specific team doesn't play with the twat.
so it's all the twatter sphere, or is it just in general? Like, is it doggy, or is it the twatter, like the streets of twatter?
I think where they came up with the original database has to do with basic, like, the stuff that they pre-canvassed for through the America Pack,
Okay.
the stuff that they got also off of the twatter sphere.
So, in other words, like, any of those data breaches could be.
Yes.
Okay. Well, isn't that special? isn't
Right.
that nice? You know, just now you have to worry about them getting not only your credit card information, but your record on how you put tallies in too, which is a little fucking scary if you really think about it.
Right. And so some of those other ones, there probably weren't. So, like, if we're thinking some of the other ones, like, was there a distraction going on because of other things? Was there fighting about? Because we don't know how long they were fighting in the house before he left the house. So you might have said, "I'll give someone $1 million" and stuff like that, and did all this stuff and threw his money around. But if they were fighting inside the house,
So you
and he
think
was like,
Don was fighting with Space Karen?
they
Like
were
that?
fighting. I mean, they were
Oh,
fighting
that,
right
yeah.
around the time of some of the big specials that were
Okay.
going
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
And
that's
Karen was
true.
like, I'm just not going to do it. Or because right after there, it might have been around the same time that there were other things going on, that other investigations pointing at
like,
him.
like French ones? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, French ones, but I'm saying, like, there was the Social Security chief data officer.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
He was like, "Hey, you can't do this," and, like, I would have to look up time frames to see if that aligned with, like, maybe some of the specials and things that were like, is there a correlation in why he may not have deployed at the time?
So my question is it just Space Karen that can deploy this? Because if it is, then we might be okay. And the reason why I say that is because this would not shock me. This is merely hyperbole and just for entertainment purposes only. But I have a sneaky feeling that Mr. Macron has some idea of what has happened in our country. And he is not stupid, nor is he hyper conservative. So I could see him saying, "Hey, Space Karen, how's it going? How would you like to see Paris
Right.
right now from a jail cell?"
Now, I think the plan was for it to be something that they can control. Any of them could control automatically throughout all the other things.
Okay.
I don't know how far they got to. I mean, you think of automatic versus, like, I get, like, when you think of computer systems and things like that. Automatic versus, like, think of the old, like, your old DOS computer where you had to, like, put in the disk and type run, and, like, so, like, it might still be there in the DOS form where they have to plug in the information and tell it to run, and not fully automated. It just depends on how far they got with all the information they were also plugging in at the time and things like that. So, like, when he said he put an anomaly in the Matrix, It doesn't mean that he put a virus that will spread and take over. It could have just been one thing into the Matrix.
For one contest or for...
It could have been. Yes. Okay. And that doesn't mean he wouldn't go back in and do it for another one, because the answers aren't going to be the same.
That's true, yeah.
You would need the date.
Right.
You would need the database and things.
They're going to have to get the lists and update the databases for the lists, right? Okay.
Correct.
So there is still hope in a way.
Yes. We don't know how far... We have to get the information from all the things to prove this is concrete in the first place.
Right. Which is in process.
Correct. But then we'd also have to go through and find how far they got with their automation to see, because they were going to create, I don't know if you remember, as part of this whole Doge and the SSA thing, is a whole voter they've talked about it more than once, a full database. That's why they wanted records. That's why they've gone to certain places to get records. That's why they've done all the things. They've been trying to get this database, to create this database, to have it there so they can do it whenever they want. Other than that, until that point, everything would have to be manual, because it's not being automatically fed into government systems. You'd have to input it where you could. So
yeah, I'm wondering if somebody... I wonder, though, if it's because all of them would be involved with... in other words, if Massey being back in there would then corroborate or find all of the not great things that they all were doing, because all of them spent time on a certain island.
I think the island is... How to word this the right way. I think we currently have two main bad guys, right?
Okay.
And I think the two main bad guys, one likes to wear white and blue, and the other one, doesn't. I don't know. He likes poutine. We got two main bad guys, right? And I think
Daddy
yeah.
Vlad.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think that both of them have information.
PP tapes? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
on
our boss, right?
On Nectarine Nero, yeah.
Yes, and either of them could play cards whenever they want. That's why they pretty much give in to him whenever he gives in to them whenever he wants. I think that the main role of the deceased one was to use that information without having to go, without the two having to meet. The deceased one, Mr. Necktie, in prison.
Oh, okay.
He was kind of like the middleman. Like when you think you met a mob boss, and then
he was
you find out.
That's what he was. Yeah, he was a consigliere. Yeah.
So but since he's gone and other people have taken over several of his roles and things, both of them still are there as the main bad guy. So both of them have a relationship with the star guy.
So you're saying that basically we have two heads, and ours is the underboss.
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure
So, yeah, I just think that there's just... So, even though we may not have this information built into the database today, doesn't mean that other players in the game of life may not be able to do it now, because we gave that information out.
Right.
So, there are a lot of pieces to that big puzzle that I don't even know how or if I ever want to mentally get into, I guess.
Well, like I've said, I feel like this has...
It all ties together.
It does. I think that, don't get me wrong, I think we need to take the trash out immediately, post-haste.
Absolutely.
But But what does give me some hope for the future is the fact that both mob bosses and the underboss, all not great, not good, all old as fuck.
Right.
And unhealthy as fuck. So part of me is thinking, okay, we might actually have a chance to run the clock out on this and have it not be a recurrent predicament. However, I'm also not naive enough to think that, they haven't decided to show anybody else how this works.
Right. And that's one of the reasons why I think that they got a lot of the tech guys involved and things like that, because they're also in that power headspace.
Yeah.
So they are easily manipulative with more money and power.
Right.
So they could have very easily have handed off those keys to any of the other guys too. Which is scary. But we could still, they don't have, those guys don't have enough power yet to be as big as the two big bad bosses.
That might be why Vance is not interested.
Yes. Yes, because they didn't gain. And so when you think about going in guns a-blazing, right? Like the whole process and everything that has gone on, and the way the doggy group has up and did everything that they were doing, and they were, destroying.
We're having more,
basically all the fail safes.
We're having a whole lot of cutouts, by the way. Wonder what that's about, but that's
Are
okay. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, just keep talking. They're trying to shut us down, I think.
I mean, that's going to be the way it is. But I think with all the ways that they try to break down all the things. So we were thinking initially, anything that was stopping them from getting richer. Also, some of the regulatory things behind, like the head implants and things like that.
Right.
Just whatever they could do to make sure they were still on top. But I think that there were other pieces and parts in that, and destroying some of the paper chains and things that were going through that they didn't want us to see. Just like suspiciously, at one point it was brought up that there was a bag of classified documentation that was sitting outside of a furnace in the FBI building, and then no one ever talked about it again. Like it was a 30-second blurb that happened, like, way back. Yep. See? No one even remembers it. It was there. Was it to be filed? Was it not to be filed? Was it to be incinerated? What was in there? Does anybody know? I have no idea. Never talked about it again.
Wow.
But I don't own the press either, so I can't ask.
Right.
But I think a lot goes to go back to like the two bosses. I think a lot of them, we already know that a lot of the people on our in our positions above us, so our supervisors, I guess, are kind of in a position.
Just a corporation.
Yeah, as well, corporate America, right? Our situation, our supervisors, they a lot of them have been in that honeypot blackmail situation from either of these folks as well. So the ones that won't stand their ground are going to get taken.
Right.
We're told you to take down. And I've said before, I don't think that necessarily all of them are doing some of the bad things like the island guys.
Right.
That bad. Some of them could be something as not saying this is great, but on a scale of that versus, like tax fraud, or that versus like cheating on a spouse or something. Like some of the things that the people who are here, our supervisor level, may not be earth shattering like the Epstein or like the island guy. It could just still be enough to ruin your life in a different way. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So think about like Swalwell.
Yeah.
As a prime example.
Yep.
And all the things, and like we could tell on you for you being a creepy guy, and nothing that he did was right. Was it at the same
an absolute pile of trash? But
right. Was it the same level of bad? Like if we're calling like this bad, and like this is like stubbing your toe, and this is like taking off your kneecap and down. Like, like he did horrible things, and we shouldn't forgive him and let him back in the circle and things like that. Now without proof of fixing and all the therapies and things, but was that what was being held over him to make him kind of fluctuate some of his choices when he got to choose things for the groups of people that he was supervisor over? Like, was it just enough blackmail? Was it just enough? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it does all the things that all these people have, and then, oh, we give you more money and we'll make sure you stay and blah, 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 but we won't tell your secrets. Are they Island Boys bad, or are they like tax fraud? Are they little things?
Right.
But
Well,
I
little
mean,
things by their standards, but yes. Yeah.
Comparatively, yes.
Yeah.
So, but enough to make them still do exactly what they want done. So,
It's crazy. Because, yeah. I mean, I figured it was all connected. I mean, a lot of it, there were so many steps along the way, but, I am kind of glad, though, that what you had said and what other groups had said matchy-matchied. So,
yes.
Weird.
Yeah, and that's just all fun Insomniac neurodivergence too. Like, that's not the only reason a lot of the things that I started asking out loud, because I am and still am learning the coding portion for the fact checker and things like that. I learned about all the databases and how things are stored and stuff like that, where not a lot of people who don't do that stuff even think about it.
Right.
So,
yeah,
like, I was like, well, there should be. So that's why when I sent that stuff to you after the conversation, and we're like, hey, there should be one, because this, and this, and it was open and now it's not. Hey, someone needs to do something. Panic, red flag, listen to me. Hey, I'm not crazy over here. Because of, that stuff. But I don't know everybody who would know to do that. So it's like one of those,
Right.
We've all been saying stuff. We know this is wrong from day one. We all woke up and we're like, this is fucking wrong. But how we figured it out are just pieces and parts of people knowing things that we didn't know and learning things we never knew before. So talking out loud helps, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about how many people we, like, literally woke up and were like, no. Because, like, and it's just our basic intuition. That was the start of it. For people that don't know how the 4 a.m. Club evolved. It was literally just, and yeah, there are some people that were truly clairvoyant or psychics, but there was just everyday Joes that were like, what? Like, because she's selling out stadium upon stadium. And then you have this, and then Homeboy here is like, can't even fill the bottom layer of a an arena. And you're just like, no, how? And, people are genuinely excited to see her speak, versus Peepaw, who's just rambling about Hannibal Lecter as if he is a real human being and not a character from a movie.
Because he doesn't know the difference between a sane asylum and seeking asylum. Like, I can't even. It's the same thing with the doctored photo with him being Jesus. Tell him it's doctored. I wasn't being Jesus. I was being a doctor. Like, not only are you demented, but you need to get your hearing aids tuned. Check your battery. For fuck's sake.
It's not even that. It's just basic vernacular. He just, like, that's what happens when, and I'm going to say this, and it's probably going to sound horribly divisive, but I'm just going to fucking say it. This is what happens when you have somebody whose IQ is room temperature. The man doesn't even have a lukewarm IQ. He has an IQ of 73. That is, I wholeheartedly believe that is that man's IQ. Just because of some of the things that he associates is something that you would see with somebody who has a borderline intellectual disability. Not fucking kidding. You're not wrong. I know. But, and then to hear what really, we didn't even talk about this, but now I'm on a tirade, but what really pissed me off a couple months ago was when Gavin Newsom had said, hey, I'm dyslexic and it's nothing to be ashamed of. And he did help a whole lot of kids, I'm sure. A whole lot of adults feel better about themselves because, dyslexia is one of those advantages that some people when they're going through school, it's very hard. But as you become an adult, it tends to level out. And Gavin was talking about his process and stuff. He was just trying to help people that are dyslexic as adults or even kids. Most of the time, it affects kids more than anything else. But why this piece of shit had to go and then say that, well, I don't know if he should be president because because he shouldn't be disabled or handicapped and be in the White House. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're here, so because technically you're more profoundly disabled than Gavin.
Yeah, and
I mean, if we're going to really hold him to the same standard.
If we're going to hold them to the same standard, I want my next president to be able to hold their bowels. Like,
hey!
Listen, you still hold them, just in a bag.
It's a horrible metric.
Listen, I mean, the bow.
I don't have that either. God dang it, man.
But you're not leaking from it actively, is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
No, I have a bag on.
I don't, and I shouldn't even say that either because, like, my dad had a fully functioning brain most of the time, and he had a lot of problems from metformin. So, like, but
that will ruin your day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll ruin your day.
Yeah. So, not to go there with all the fun things in my family, but we have an ongoing phrase whenever we run past, like, whatever, there's something about, like, going home that makes you, like, really comfortable. And one of the things that happened, like, we all, as soon as we walk in the house, every single one of us checks the fridge. I'm not hungry, I'm not thirsty, I check first thing I do is, like, okay, there's still food there, comfort, make sure it's good. And then within a half an hour, everyone has to go to the bathroom. Like, there's just, like, something about it, I don't know. But whenever we're doing something, we run past everyone else in the house. We always scream, "Grab a bucket!" and just run that way from my dad and his incidences. But
oh wow, if there's a bucket involved, that ain't good.
It ain't good. It's not good news.
Not good at all.
But here nor there. I just can't with him. The reason I said anything about bowels was that video that we saw today. Yeah.
Every parent in the world knows that face. I'm sorry.
Yes. He straight up was like, "Look at this over here." And then shook the leg a little bit and, like, did the twist step before he got in the car. I'm like, seriously, bro? Like, you are 80 years old, dude. You ain't fooling nobody.
Oh, no.
You ain't fooling nobody. God damn. I was waiting for everyone else to do this too, because, like, that was what I was like.
Oh, I'm sure that smells horrendous. Because that's like the sound alone, like, because I don't know if anybody has ever been around somebody that has an ostomy, because it will still make noise. Obviously, you can't smell anything because of the bag, but it will still make noise, and I have absolutely zero control over it at all. So all of a sudden it'll just start popping, and it just sounds like bubbles popping more than anything else. But occasionally you'll actually get, like, an actual sound out of it. But I cannot imagine just the bubbling sound, like, of, like, water coming through into your bag. Like, I'm very familiar with that, but to me it's normal because of this. With him, I can only imagine that's got to be a horrendous feeling. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know why he just didn't go and get the bag, like, what is mentally, whatever.
It's not, I don't understand why you would elect to, probably just because he's that narcissistic.
Vain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's, what are you going to do, but at the same time, it's a lot better than what even for your skin, it's a lot better to have a system, to have an appliance, to have a bag, versus doing what he's doing, which is basically just being incontinent on himself, because that just leads to infections and skin breakdown and so many fucking problems. But I don't know if he thought it was going to get better. I don't know if it's gotten worse over time. I don't know, but I can imagine, like watching that video, I'm like, I can smell that. Like,
yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to, though.
No, but I can smell that. Yeah, that's bad. Although he isn't really alone with the boomers, though. Like yesterday, I was at work, right? And we had the actual audacity to sit down and chat, because sometimes on holidays we get a second. It's not long. It's maybe 20 minutes or so. And apparently one of my residents was upset because he could just hear us talking. And so he comes out with his little lead paint stare, and he's like, "What are you doing talking?" And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, man. Just, what the fuck? But yeah, that's just the boomer mentality anyway. They don't ever want to think about several things, but their own mortality. Like how many people have boomer parents and have had to talk about what they want upon their demise? Very, very few, because they are convinced they are going to live forever. And I think that's where that comes from. Same coin, different side.
Well, I think, too, it depends on if you have outstanding, like, medical conditions, too. Like, that makes a difference.
It does. He did.
Because you start having a lot more of those conversations. I mean, I have been having those conversations since my dad's health went down.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and I'm not talking, like, in the last couple of years. I'm talking, like, 15, 20 years at least. But when he started having more, surgeries and things like that, like, we started having those conversations. But nothing would have triggered my mom to do that unless she was also having those, those situations. So it isn't an easy thing unless you're having a repeated thing. But he also has that one thing that we don't have is the best of the best. You know what I mean? Like, we have doctors around here, and don't give me all of them around here are great. I mean, we've got Cleveland Clinic, we've got you've got Cincinnati has a lot of big hospitals for their specialty things.
Children's hospitals,
but they have research facilities, which would make not that okay.
Not really.
You do have one of the only funeral. That's a different conversation. Funeral schools around here. But we've got the University of Toledo and then Ann Arbor. Like, so we've got three of them that are really close, that are like specialists, big, huge hospitals for things like that. But I'm talking like he's got Walter Reed.
Yeah. And he's also got an ICU in his house.
Right.
Which is also a conversation, like what is actually happening at Walter Reed that he has to be at Walter Reed, because he is a functioning ICU in the White House.
Right.
So what is going on with that? Because
I would like to know what all the ICU has.
Well, I mean, they should be able to monitor him. They should be able to do blood work, stat labs, ABGs, like pretty much about anything. That's what I'm saying. Unless it's like, I'm guessing maybe not bedside dialysis. I don't know.
I mean, you could really do dialysis with almost anything.
I meant CRRT, but yeah.
I mean, if he needed to get a cath placement done, I was thinking more like MRI.
It could be. It could be his
like some of those big machines. So like you would have X-rays, you would probably have echoes, you would have all those things. But an MRI with the magnet field and things like that have to be special. And I was anything that I was thinking, or anything that has to do with nuclear med.
You know, part of me isn't wondering, does he have cancer?
Why not?
I mean, it could be. I'm just saying, because we keep thinking heart disease. And granted, I mean, he is screaming heart disease, but at the same time,
chemo does cause the lymphedema.
And it would be more of the time cycle too.
And it would cause the rash.
Yep. I'm wondering if, I bet you it's in like a prostate, a lymphoma of some sort,
stomach.
Leukemia, could be stomach, yeah.
That's why it's like swells in weird ways and things like that, and it also could cause the other end to be bad because of
colon cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the McDonald's, that would make sense.
Yep.
There's very little fiber in that diet. something that I have to worry about, not being able to really process fiber, but he should be fine. He doesn't care,
Right.
so I mean, he did just drop a deuce in the parking lot of White
Right.
House today while staring at a pillar, being like, "Look at this pillar here. Look at this."
So the weird thing that happened that I was that so like he went to Walter Reed today. The visit was 3 hours long.
Yeah,
So
that's
like,
screaming an
and now
infusion.
if if you're screaming at me that like, or like you and I go into the doctor's 3 hours, that's a lot for us, and that's with waiting in the waiting room and dealing with everybody else. Like
Yeah.
that's not the treatment he's gonna get. Two, they said afterwards he was supposed to go to Camp David and have a meeting there, but the Camp David meeting was canceled.
This dude
And
has
they
got to be on infusions. It's got to be a chemo. It's got to be. Because that's the only thing that makes sense with the timeline. It really is the only
chemo
thing.
chemo makes sense. That would make, and as weird as it is, and I know like the dementia and things like that, we always talk about too. But like,
That could
you
do it
think
with
about
chemo.
people who are at their end of their life cycles, they do tend to have that weird where they can't sleep at night because they're afraid of death, so they stay up all night.
Or it could just be chemo brain. They do that too.
That too.
Yeah. And he also has always worn a hairpiece, so that's not. I mean, I'm sure somebody made them. That's probably now completely a wig, but
I don't. I
know,
can't
man.
tell if that picture from China, like that was supposed to be from China with the wind blowing, and if that was supposed to be real or not, because it very much gave Dustin Hoffman and Hook.
I'll have
Like
to
when
look at
they
that. I don't think I saw that picture. Just, I
see.
mean, if you can find it or whatever. But yeah,
Yeah, I'll
it's
look real
just,
quick while we're chatting.
it's just one of those things where it's like that. Because at first I was like, no, it's not gonna be chemo. But now that I think about it, because it's about every 6 to 8 weeks that he goes to Walter Reed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know for sure, but I mean, they said that. Well, I mean, I can't even think. Like it's been every 3 months.
Yep, that's a chemo cycle. That is literally a round. I mean, depends on the drug, but there's a lot of them that are dosed in those kinds of rounds. They're dosed in like 3-month cycles.
Yeah, it would kind of explain like like the throat too swelling.
Yep.
I was just trying to think of all the different things. Oh, the picture. So because I wanted to make sure that we were right. Um, I looked at Snopes, and the picture that I thought that I saw that I thought everybody was talking about is not real.
Oh.
So, but I mean, they did show a side by side that was. Let me see if I can get it to be big enough and then show you. Come on. Maybe next time. Okay. So, I'm gonna come with me on an adventure. Switch my camera.
Yeah, I can't see anything.
Let me do this.
Oh,
There you.
wow. Yeah. Holy crap.
So, but that's not real.
Okay.
This is the real one. So it's not a whole lot better.
That's a wig for sure, I think. Well, you know what? I don't know.
It's just not. I mean, it's definitely not full.
No, not at all. I mean, not that I can say much.
I mean, same.
Yeah. At the same time, though, I mean, I have when my hair fell out last year, I just let it go. So, you get to a point where you're like, I don't want to be like him, where it's like I'm holding on to hopes and dreams that are of yesteryear.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, plus you get to that point where, like, with him, like, I don't think he understood that, like, once you get to a certain point and you're losing your hair, if it's longer, it looks worse. And he never really figured that out. Like,
No.
yeah. Like, I need to get mine cut because it looks thin, and that's literally like, that's the sign. Like,
Yeah.
that's what happens when you start losing your hair. In case anybody hasn't experienced that, yeah, it looks better if you just don't let it grow out. But at the same time, he's too what is it, narcissistic to let that to do that, to let that happen. So
No, you're not wrong. I just I mean, there's so much going. It's just weird that, and maybe it was Putin that had cancer and not.
I think it's
BB.
Parkinson's or no, it was. We thought he did. We thought it was pancreatic. But with Putin, who knows? Because he can be way more secretive.
I thought that maybe I was just like having like an epiphany. Like, maybe what if it's all three of them?
It could be. It very well could be. Like, I'm not in any way, shape, or form denying that.
Yeah. I just want to look at it. I don't remember. It's fine either way. It would be really weird if it was all three of them.
I think Putin, they were saying it's Parkinson's. So, but that's also why he's become increasingly paranoid and neurotic. That's hallmarks of Parkinson's. They get real crazy. Yeah, in the later stages, by the way. For people again that don't know, they get more crazy because what happens is when you treat Parkinson's is just like a side rant. Anyway, when you treat Parkinson's, the treatment is dopamine. Well, if you give too much dopamine, you actually will hallucinate because the thing that causes schizophrenia is too much dopamine. So it's a very fine line when you're dosing carbidopa levodopa to make sure that it's right in that therapeutic range, because if it's too high or too low, you will have crazy ass symptoms, and one of them is paranoia, delusions, stuff like that happens because of the nature of Parkinson's itself. So sometimes, when Michael J. Fox, he seems to be pretty in control, but that's not the norm. They're usually a little crazy, especially if you have somebody with dementia and Parkinson's, because there's a Parkinsonian dementia as well, and they say some wild shit.
I want to say, and maybe I'm wrong with Michael J. Fox, but I want to say that they are doing,
he might be past carbidopa levodopa at this point too.
I want to say that I thought I heard that he signed up for an IPG.
What's that?
The implantable pulse generator.
Yeah, he may have.
And that's why he's a little bit more controlled, because that pulse generator
blocks a lot of the extra. Yeah. They work really well. IPGs is just like the generic. They're called deep brain stimulations for Parkinson's. Yes. DBSs. So it's all the same thing. They look exactly the same no matter where you put them. We literally just call them stimulators, because that's basically what it does. Is it stimulates part of your brain, so that basically it interrupts that constant need to move. Just for people that don't know what we're talking about. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I live in the medical world. I see them all before they go. So, like, they all literally are the same shape, size, and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they're different shape, but I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, the same idea. That's why I was like, that's not what it's called for Parkinson's, but it's the same. You had it. You knew what was going on. It doesn't matter. But I'm pretty sure that I saw that he was doing that, along with the medication. There was a new one that came out for that, too. So, like...
It very well could be. I mean, carbidopa levodopa has been around forever, and it doesn't work after so long because your body, you build a tolerance to it, just like about any other brain chemistry situation. So
yeah.
I mean,
it's fun.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, the timing on his trips to Walter Reed are sus as fuck at this point. I mean, why would you need 3 annual exams unless it's imaging or some sort of infusion or both? And why would the POTUS need to be there for 3 full hours unless there was actual like treatment or test? It's just weird.
Now, the only thing, just to play devil's advocate, is he loves to talk. And when you go into the doctors, you get to talk about who?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So that's the only thing. I mean, the only thing that I'm going to kind of like, maybe that's not as sus as we think it is. I didn't hear him say anything about a cognitive exam this time, but that's another big red flag for me specifically. Because you could say all you want, like, oh, he's 80 years old and going to the doctor is fairly common, etc. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I know. I have specialists. I have multiple ones. They're every 3 to 6 months, depending on the specialist and what their specialism is, I guess, for lack of better words. But anytime I go to the doctor, whether it is any of them, I don't get cognitive exams every time I go.
No, I don't think I've ever taken one. Period.
I mean,
yeah, I've never had that problem.
I have during like med changes for like psychiatric meds, where that would make, but it wasn't. It was more to make sure you weren't going crazy more than it was like for dementia specifically.
Right.
Like you were able to, crazy is not the word I should use there. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. But like, you know how some of those meds don't work with your body chemistry and they can make you go and do
oh yeah,
not
they can
work the right way.
exacerbate your baseline function, can make it way
Yes.
worse, your baseline functioning, or you're crazy, however you want to use
Yeah.
it. Yeah, can make it
No,
crazy worse.
It's exactly that. And I just didn't want to, like, I wasn't trying to associate psychiatric medications necessarily with crazy. What I meant by, like, just being able to function, focus, things like that. When you go on certain ones, like mood stabilizers, things like that, they do exacerbate some if they're not the right fit. Like, again, 100%, guys, if you listen to nothing I've ever said in my entire life, if you have the opportunity and chance, do the genetic testing for your medications. It'll save your life in so many ways. You don't have to play the games with your doctors about, like, does this one work? Does that one work? You already know. You don't have to play those games. It'll save you so much time. Anyway.
Yeah. No, it definitely does. Like, I've seen a lot of people that have, we used to do them at nursing home level, but they won't pay for it now.
Well, I honestly feel like at birth, it would be something that I would highly suggest, and not that you can get your doctor to approve that. In a perfect world, you will always know your kid's never going to be able to take Benadryl. Your kid's never going to be able, like, just to have that information up front, like, it's so useful with everything. And it doesn't just cover, like, the one I took does all medication, so it's not just, I did it specifically for my ADHD meds, but it covers also all of them. So, like, any heart related, anything like thyroid related, any category, and save your ass one day. Seriously, it'll tell you green, yellow, and red. Don't take red ones. Yellow ones used with cautious. Like, it's not that complicated, but saves your life.
Yeah, like, because there's other disorders. Like, I'm not even just talking about, like, certain genetic things, but there's like certain, I think, that should be standardized at birth. Like, your predisposition to factor 5 would be good to know. Your predisposition to things like, I don't know, food allergies, good to know.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, before you have an allergy to peanuts that nearly takes you out. You know what I mean? Like, things like that could be super beneficial if we just did them across the board. Like, if most of Europe can test for baseline things like food allergies, I think it's PKU gets tested for universally. We can throw on a, what kind of clotting factors are you going to make at baseline? Because that's hella important. I mean, if you bleed to death, you won't be alive.
I would say almost anything that you would use in an emergency room situation should be tested for, like, as a young person. And so I'm not talking like Tylenol. Fuck that. I'm talking about anything that you could be like lidocaine,
Yeah.
epinephrines, anything that would you would use in a normal situation with anybody. Oh, you're having this, take give them that like 50 cc, whatever you're like. What think of your shows, any of your medications that are immediate for like this is a bleeding situation, we're going to give them this, or talking lactated ringers, anything that you would need in any of these situations should be tested for. To have that information before you walk into an emergency situation and be given a medication you didn't know you were allergic to and get that situation way worse, like come on, like that could save so many lives, and that's such a simple thing to do.
Well, and the other thing I will say, though, there's one thing I will say is that if you tested at birth and you were not allergic to certain things, like maybe penicillin, you can develop an allergy to things like penicillin.
Yes.
So that's the other thing. It's not universal. It just gives you a baseline of what your kid came out of the factory settings allergic to.
Right.
So it's not.
You can you can develop and you can grow out of.
Yes.
But to have a baseline,
Yeah.
like where
Oh,
you
yeah,
have multiple
sure.
choices of medications and things like that, like, and I'm not even saying like penicillin. That's an easy one. I was thinking more of like the ones in like super bleeding out situations or things like that. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that would be good too. But like, if you're like, oh, you're allergic to penicillins, and we move you to like the other classes of
Well, just think of little
medication.
kids. How many times did they take the purple or the pink gummy, blue, whatever, bubble gum?
Yeah,
medicine?
moxicillin.
Yeah, just knowing, that you might be one that might be more predisposed to that type of allergy, because sometimes they can tell that stuff too. It just all depends on how sensitive the test is. If they can determine that, yeah, you have a high chance of becoming allergic, like, developing an allergy to certain classes of meds, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to. It kind of gives you a heads up, like, hey, I might develop a sulfa allergy. Let me just remember that if I ever have to take a sulfa drug, that kind of thing. Not that it's guaranteed, because some of that is still very much nature, not so much nurture. I mean, it's more like the environment that's going to play a factor. How many times you're exposed to a compound also affects it too. Because sometimes you can go for years and not be allergic to something, and then boom, all of a sudden, now you're allergic to it.
Right. Yeah, and no, I get that, and I agree with that. But if there's a simple, easy, an emergency room situation where
Sure.
there is a comparator, like use the comparator.
Right.
Like, just different people. Like people like I'm allergic to lidocaine. I'm like, well, there are other things that you could use for basic skin things, like you could give you Benadryl under your skin.
Yeah.
There's other things, and like I never knew that before. I'm like, well, don't do that without it. You can have extra things that will numb you. There's not a nothing. There's like a plan A and nothing. Like there's other there or knock you the fuck out. Like no, there are other things you can do. But we just live in an interesting world where not a lot of people know all that fun stuff either. So
Right. Well, and like things like it doesn't erase your preventative for allergies. 'Cause like, for example, when my daughter was little and she was we were doing, formula still, because these are decorative. I didn't make any milk. Should have also been a red flag. But anyway, red flag. Anywho, we did this thing called Ready, Set, Food. And basically what you do is they send you this kit, and it's these little packets. And every day you put one packet in one of their bottles. And it exposes them to peanuts, to dairy, and to wheat, I want to say, so that they are less likely to develop an allergy to those foods.
that's good.
So then, and it builds up over time. And then basically, so you started, I want to say it's like 3 or 4 months, like when they're getting ready to start, like when they're doing cereals. So basically you just add it, and then, or it's egg, milk, and wheat. Those are the 3. So it basically exposes them early enough so that they're less likely to develop an allergy. However, that doesn't mean that they didn't come out of the factory allergic to it. That still is in play. But also that they could develop it over time, but the threshold or the chances of that happening are much lower. And now they've expanded it to include berries and other higher allergen foods for little kids, and you just add this little packet to their food or to like a bottle, and it helps expose them. So it's one of those things that we did, and I don't regret it at all. I think it was one of the better things, because knowing that I have a wheat allergy, we wanted to make sure that our daughter didn't develop. I mean, she could still develop celiac, but at least she had the exposure to high allergen foods early on, so that hopefully to mitigate that. But that's just what the latest research said 6 years ago. That doesn't mean it's going to universally work every time. So
Right. Well, and it's and I don't want to sound like RFK here, but like there was not a lot of kids in our generation that I remember having like peanut butter allergies or anything. That was like one of the first things that we ate. I mean, like peanut butter and jelly were like staples from like the second you can put your mouth on something. And I know that they always said like the more you expose when they're younger, the better it is, because there was a time where it was like the exact opposite. If you expose them too young, then they develop an allergy and all those things. And I'm like, there's got to be a base. Like, just keep doing what we've been doing for years.
Well, it's also the amount of cleaning of surfaces, because that's part of the problem too. Is that when you're little, having people that were cleaning their houses with like chemical type of like Lysol wipes and stuff constantly tended to have more allergies, because their immune systems were basically bored. That's really what it came down to. So then it would just start attacking like the dust mites or whatever the fuck. So like, where people who have homes that are they're still clean, they're just not militantly like sterile, then, they're less likely to develop allergies long term.
It's funny because I don't want to say like our house was, my mom was very adamant about cleaning growing up.
We are not.
Very, very adamant about it. And I'm talking like you would feel comfortable eating in their bathroom.
Oh, wow.
Like if that's the weirdest thing that anyone's ever said in your life, yeah, you'd feel comfortable. Like you could drop like a sandwich on the floor, like a peanut butter and jelly before you put that top bread on, and just pick it up, and it would still feel fairly confident and clean, depending on who all was there. Because it would just be whoever walked in after you or before you, like immediately, that you would have to worry about. Because like, you don't wear shoes in the house. Everything is clean all the time. Like she literally scrubs. But like we were all like all of us were sick growing up quite a bit. But then when I grew up and out on my own and was college and worked in a hospital and everything else, like it took me a long time. But then I finally like developed an immune system in my older years because of that stuff.
That's what it is. You have to be exposed to dirt and germs to develop an immune system, because that's how you do it, is by exposing yourself to dirt and germs over and over again.
Working in a hospital and then going to the bar, like there was no more dirt and germs you could possibly encounter. I was like shock force to the face.
Well, yeah, it's like most people go back through that when they have kids, because then the kid gets whatever and then sneezes in your face, because they have no, like I remember when my daughter was like a baby, it may have been even her first like ear infection, and like I remember I was holding her and she sneezed right here, like it was during the height of COVID, and I was like, I'm gonna love getting this is gonna be so much fun. And yeah, that's just how life is when you have little kids.
Yeah, and they never stop. I mean, it is a constant germ factory when they're little.
Yeah,
it's just noticing that when you're older, if you were sickly as a kid and also just like never kind of grew into your immune system, when you have kids it's going to be worse. You might have an autoimmune disorder. Like look into that.
Right, exactly. Hold on, I'm gonna text my spouse that I need to take the trash out, and I will as soon as we're done.
Yeah, fair.
I will
take
the trash out.
I have a sister-in-law that is a teacher, and she still gets strep throat like a few times a year and she teaches like high school kids, not like kindergartners. I mean, maybe it's 8th grade. They're older. And I'm like, Becky, I really think you should go get checked.
Oh, see, I ended up getting strep too many times. I ended up my tonsils yanked. Do not recommend. Horrible experience. I was 30.
Not as an adult. Yeah,
no,
don't do it
I
as
was
an
30.
adult.
It was terrible. It's horrible.
I've seen that surgery, and I've seen that surgery when they've had to come back. after they rip.
Oh,
It's not good.
No.
It's not good.
No.
No.
Oh. Good thing I'm hearing this like 10 years later. So I don't know which is the more violent one, but I guess tonsillectomy may have been high up on the horrible surgeries.
I mean, I worked in the surgery. I watched lots of different surgeries. I've watched doctors yank kneecaps out and think. I mean, okay, so I didn't work in a trauma hospital, so let me go back and like say that too.
Right.
They were all pretty much like planned, if not like appendectomy kind of.
Right.
It wasn't
right.
like a trauma one where like people are getting and people are getting shot at and like things like that. They were just like normal, standard, pretty scheduled procedures. But like breaking apart people's like kneecaps and like spines and hips and stuff, and I'm like that's fine. And watching the tonsillectomy is not bad. It just the pain. So like my brother had my older brother had sleep apnea, and he doesn't really do like the pain thing. Like if you bang, like he bangs his elbow or he banged his finger so hard with a hammer once, like it exploded. Like, did that explain, like, how gross it was? And he was like, son of a bitch. There was just not a lot of emotion. Like, he just doesn't really react. But he had the CPAP, like, the sleep apnea surgery where they, like, cut, like, your uvula. They take out your tonsils, your adenoids. They, like, the whole 9 yards. And they were all like, we need you to take a drink to make sure. And he, like, took a drink. And the fear and pain in his face made me go, never again. Nope, never thinking about it. Never gonna happen. Like, I've watched him hurt himself numerous times in my life growing up, and that look on his face, oh no, that was like death fear. He was like, it was like swallowing razor blades, and like every little sip of water for like a month, anything he ate, anything he touched would hit every single cut he had. It was like recutting with razors all the way down his throat. And I'm like, oh nope, that sounds like no fun to me.
The worst is like you get to a point where you think you're good, and then like you go to eat regular food or something that isn't pudding, okay? And then it's like you have the scabs. Oh god, that's the worst. Is once the scabs come off, you're okay. It doesn't hurt anymore. But just that process is harrowing as fuck, because if it comes off and it's not ready or whatever, you can hemorrhage in a heartbeat, and you would.
That's what I'm talking about. I've been seeing people come back in. Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you
It's
think
not cool.
tonsillectomy not a big deal as an adult? No, I'd have my mom come and stay with me, and that says a lot because my mom is. So the fact that it was that big of a deal that she had to come and stay with me for like 3 or 4 days, because that way, I didn't hemorrhage to death. But yeah, I would definitely do wisdom teeth, and I'd have the colostomy surgery before I'd have a tonsillectomy. That's the one that you need to keep people overnight in the hospital for pain management. It's the tonsillectomy. It's not the colostomy. Like that sucked, but it wasn't nearly as bad as a tonsillectomy.
It's crazy how that is. Well, and then when my brother came back from the room, they told him, because they do like I said, tonsils, adenoids, and like the uvula removal. And they're like, you can't yawn for like 6 weeks or something like that. And as soon as they say that to you, you're like, oh, yep, see? I didn't even do it. You say the word yawn and you're like, oh, and he's all like, oh God. Like, he couldn't speak yet. And I was like, don't do it. You're going to die.
No.
Like, I just felt like it all ripping back open and just like, no, it didn't. That was just my mental picture because I've seen it too many times. And I'm like,
I feel you.
Oh, don't say anything. Like, don't tell patients, like, doctors, nurses, I don't care what you do. Don't tell patients, like, there's, like, a time and a place for a warning, but right before, right after a procedure where it can get stuck in their head is not the great time.
Right.
Like, when Missy went in for our youngest for a C-section, and they gave her, like, the block, they were all like, you may not be able to feel yourself breathe. And she's like, from that second on, was like, do I normally feel myself breathe? Am I breathing now? Should I be worried about myself not breathing? Like,
I'm actually glad they didn't say that to me now.
Like, wouldn't you panic? I would. Like, my brain works that way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Maybe.
I think it's like the part of the neurotypical slash like neurodivergent checklist. Like, are you neurotypical? Because like if it just makes you go back to the like when people tell you about being able to be hypnotized,
Yeah.
and they're all like, relax your arm, and you're like, well, I'm neurodivergent, so I'm going, how far down my arm are we talking? Like from my shoulder all the way down? Like my brain's like, why can't you ever meditate? I'm still trying to relax my arm. Like
Yeah.
I am breaking this apart into like this many pieces.
Right.
And like and that's the same thing. Like, oh, you may not be able to feel yourself breathing, and you're like, oh shit. Do I ever feel myself breathing?
Like, can
I
you
know when I'm not
describe?
breathing. Like, I
Right.
know when I'm like, all of a sudden, like at random, or like when I choke or when I spit, like, oh my God, like just all the things that would flood my brain. I'm like, do not ever tell me anything like that. Like, don't tell me I can't do something. Don't tell me that, like,
Right.
especially
No,
if
for-
they're like functions you can't control.
Like for me, it was just trying to get Josh to stay out of that. Like, cause okay, when you get when they put the epidural in, you cannot breathe on the sterile field. So fathers to be, do not do one of these and try to look over your wife's shoulder. He did, and I'm like, stop. And they had to like re-sterilize, and he's like, and I'm like, no, like,
Stay there.
get back. And he's like, why? I was like, no. I'm like, please don't do that. Please don't do that. And he's like, well, why? I'm like, because you're breathing on it, and that makes it not sterile, motherfucker. I don't really want to die here, mother. Yeah.
I've got things to do.
Right. We got a kid to raise. You might want me around for that. Just a thought. Like,
You're right.
you know. But yeah, it's like little things that you don't think about. Like, I don't know that. I'm glad that they didn't say the breathing thing to me, because I would have been like, well, that's horrible. Now what am I doing now? But yeah, the tonsillectomy by far is horrible as an adult. I would not like, and I've had probably 10 surgery. I've had a lot of surgery. So it's like, yeah. Well, and none of all of them have been abdominal. It's been I blew my knee. That wasn't a problem. I broke my face. That's not a problem. Well, it was a problem when I broke my face, but the actual surgery wasn't bad. Tonsillectomy by far is the worst. I've had, colostomy, I have appendectomy, 3 or 4 hernia surgeries. I have another hernia now, which, of course, but it's just, none of those were as bad as a tonsillectomy. So, by far the worst.
And you're not the first person that's told me that, and you'll probably never be the last. And I always say, like, if you're an adult, don't do it. Like, deal with whatever you have to deal with first. Like, I don't know what you're dealing with, the allergies and the strep.
Yeah.
Okay, if it's an emergency thing, okay, like, I'm not telling you not to do it, but like,
if
your doctor's if your doctor's just asking you regularly, like, I have sleep apnea on this, so like every time I go in, then they check my tonsils, and they're all like, "You've got a 4 on the one side. You ever thought about getting it out?" I'm like, "Absolutely not. It's staying there till I die. It could grow out my face, and it's gonna stay there. I don't care. I will get oxygen or something." Like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. Well, the funny thing is like when I had tonsillitis so bad, like I was a nurse. I was working in Cincinnati, and the voice difference, holy crap. Okay, so when fun fact, I went to school for music ed first, okay? Could not sight sing to save my life, and the reason was I could hear the pitch that I needed to match, but I couldn't make my voice do that. Come to find out, you fast forward a good, 10 years or so, I needed to have my tonsils out fucking decades before. And my voice dramatically changed after that. And it wasn't like it got lower or anything. It got clearer, and I could actually yell, and I could breathe, and could sing and match pitch. So literally the reason that I didn't make it in music school is because I didn't realize that I had horrible tonsillitis for decades. So
it's crazy. I know I was, I don't know, maybe like 24 or something like that. I went to the ER because I had crazy, in fact, like strep throat, but it was so bad, and my tonsils were so inflamed. And mind you, this was also like really a long time ago and all that stuff, and like lots of bar scenes and things like that. But like, like I couldn't speak. Like it wasn't just laryngitis. It was because like that doesn't quite explain exactly where it was at. It was at such a weird octave. It felt like I was speaking out of like this, like over here. Like, there's the only way I can explain what happened. And they gave me a whole bunch of stuff for it, and they were all like, test you for this, test you for that. They're all like, it's not STD related. It was all like cold and all that shit related, but it just, because it settled in the pocket, like back behind my giant tonsil, that's what happened. But it was like, I literally was like, I have to talk like this. Like, I couldn't, I was laryngitis, but if I pushed on it, it would come out. It was like, this is weirdest fucking bullshit. Never do it. But yeah, they're like, do you want to get it out now? I'm like, no, I still don't. I watched that surgery. I'd rather die.
Yeah.
I'll just speak out of my throat. Give me a trach before you do that, please.
I don't know what would be worse, seeing that or watching like them putting, like, fixing somebody's femur or hip, because you know that's just carpentry. Like,
Oh, those aren't bad. Those
dude,
aren't
they're
bad.
swinging a hammer at a dude's leg, just like bam. Hey,
Well-
you want to go to the bar after? Bam! Like, oh
Yeah.
god. Oh.
Yeah, they're not. I mean,
Oh.
yeah. I mean, when you see, yeah. I mean, you got to put it in that. It's kind of like the same thing when you have like when you see a dead body or something. Like, it just becomes something different than what it actually is.
I guess.
You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
you
I've
just
seen
you kind of
plenty
get
dead
used.
bodies, but I've never seen somebody take a femur, like a sledgehammer to a femur before. But
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have hips and all that fun stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And just a fun, friendly reminder for anybody who is neurodivergent. Also, just fun fact: we don't have the same posture as neurotypical people. We tend to have a more forward thrusting hip. So when you get your hip surgery, if you ever need a hip replacement, it won't sit in the pocket the right way. You'll be uncomfortable literally for the rest of your life.
Oh, I did not know that.
Because we stand like
Oh, forward. Yep.
our
Yep.
hips lean forward.
I do
So
that
you
all
think
the
about,
time
like,
at work. I
average,
lean against my cart all the time.
yeah, like when you have average anatomy, so like here's your hips and this is where it sits inside your hip inflexor and stuff like that. And I'm not saying don't get it. I'm just as your forewarning.
Right.
But it just doesn't quite sit in the pocket the right way. And they haven't quite figured out the right way to do it and or fix it or something. Like, I don't know how to make it better. But my
Wow.
aunt had her hip done, and I was like, oh, if I would have known that, I would have warned you. Of course, this aunt has told me her whole life that she's not ADHD, but they used to give her stuff to make her not talk during school.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I know you. And she's got collections. Like, oh my God, the collections. Anyway, like,
I'm not
it's
going to
funny.
say anything about the collection.
No,
Whoops.
like my aunt has moved on, like, every precious moment, and I'm not lying. Cherished teddies, not like she
Oh.
has rooms of displays,
Oh.
and she's moved on to Legos, and she has an entire stairs portion of her house, like, so the balcony area and the attic is probably really similar to the entire main floor of my house, and it's a Lego village. It's like probably a good 1,300 square foot of nothing but Legos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
collections.
Okay,
I'm not talking about
Oh,
like
I
I
thought you
own
meant,
a
like-
few things.
right. No, I thought
No,
you meant,
like-
has collections, like debt collections. I was like, don't say anything about that, because
Oh,
for
no,
forgetting to pay
like-
shit. That would be my jam. I forget to pay shit all.
No, like like collections. Like, I have to have them. Like, if she ever played Pokemon, it would be over. She would be
Oh,
the
like the
trainer.
like the train
Yeah.
guys. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I've had to like just nudge Josh occasionally and be like, because he's like, he'll send me video upon video of different trains, and I'm like, honey, I'm gonna hold your hand when I tell you this. Like, because yeah, he's like, why is our kid like collecting? Because she's really into Hello Kitty right now. Why is she collecting all this stuff for Hello Kitty? And I'm like, well, I'm gonna hold your hand here when you realize that she's the neurobiology of the two of us. And have you seen the way we live, babe?
Right.
Like, have you looked around? Yeah. So.
No, I mean I get it.
Yeah. I mean,
get it.
just yeah. If anybody ever ends up in my house, they're doom piles. They're not. It's not trash. I know what's in that pile. It might be a crucial pile.
Don't touch my pile.
Don't touch my pile. Exactly. Yeah, I know what's there. You don't need to. It's fine.
I don't really want to rat my family out, but like.
I'm not ratting my family out.
No,
except
I told you my wife has a library, right?
Yeah.
And complete with barcode scanner, so she can scan in her life. Now, this is all 100% my fault. I 100% take onus to this. But I always say, like, collect things and then don't do drugs. Like, this is where I'm going to go.
Unless your collection is of drugs, but it's okay.
Yeah, see, no, it's not. They're books.
Okay.
And then other little trinkets and things. So, like, we have Funko Pops. We have a lot of them.
I have
and to stop from, like, cluttering the house, I just built shelves that are like above like the curtain rods and everything that go around the living room, so they are all up there. So you won't notice unless you look around. They're
up.
So like they're like so like, and it goes around the living room. So we keep it attempting. I mean, we've got a Great Dane crate, so like it's not, our living room is full of shit, but yeah, I mean, we collect too. It's fine.
Well,
it's fine.
Yeah, it's just it's interesting what you kind of deem to be super freaking important as you get older. Like I need to go back through what's on our table. See, our table catches everything. Like, you come in and you just put everything on the table, and eventually it just gets, and some of it is just dumb shit. It's like from beginning of pre-K, we got a folder. And I'm like, oh, I probably could part with that, considering she's done with pre-K. Although I didn't tell you what happened on her last day of pre-K. Did I? I don't think I told you.
No.
Okay. So I'm driving this child to school. She's super pumped. There's going to be a pizza party. Oh, my God. Okay? So she's been looking forward to this pizza party. And this was one of those that kind of broke my heart a little bit. We get to school. I pull into the parking lot and I turn around and I'm like, okay. And she's like, Mommy, I think I'm going to throw up, and covers her mouth. And then by the time I get out of the car, run around the car, she's throwing up and threw up all over herself. And then loses her mind because she realizes that she cannot have pizza with her classmates at her pizza party. And I'm trying to explain to her, like, honey, I'm sorry, but you're not going to see these kids again. So I'm so sorry. And she's crying, and then I had to go text her teacher and be like, hey, do you have anything for her? Because she just threw up all over the backseat of my car. So she's obviously not coming in, but I still need her stuff. So then I had to meet her at the door. She's like, well, how about vacation Bible study? I'm like, no, we're not doing that shit. Give me no. But it's just one of those where I do feel really bad because she was, she had a really fun year, and that's how it ended. And it was like, oh.
I'm so sorry. That is hard.
I mean, it is what it is, but it's like, I don't think any kid should have to end their school year that way.
No, that's what I mean. Like, and that she didn't feel good in the morning, but was like, I'm going because I'm getting pizza.
I know,
and
and I was like,
she tried to tough it out. What a trooper.
And I'm like, honey, you gotta tell us, because like I would have thrown in. I have emesis bags, like I buy them all the time. Like, I would have thrown a couple in the car had I known that you weren't not feeling great. And she's just like, oh, yeah. I'm like, yeah. Instead, you're wearing your lunch. Well, and what was even worse? This is another side note. So I had put in an order at the dispo, thinking, oh, this is my last day to go by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, the one that I went to, she could just stay in the car. There was not a soul in the parking lot. I was like, I'll be right back. Oh, you're old enough now.
It's fine.
You're 7. You're almost 7. You're fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
No, I get it. It's, man,
I can't bring her in there, bad. So.
Right.
But yeah, it was.
Oh God.
Yeah, it sucked, but Well, it's been about 3 hours. I know the first hour was literally just trying to get everything to work. It happens. What are you gonna do? You know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I will I reset my computer, restart it, and get everything
It's
refixed. I don't know what the
probably
fuck happened.
it's probably a setting like I had when I had issues with my audio. That's what it was. Where I couldn't hear myself. It was a setting in Windows.
Fucking Windows.
Yep.
Yeah, and everything, like, I got done finishing the paper that I sent you at like midnight last night. Sent it over, did everything, made sure everything was up and running for the day, and then everything restarted. I was like, "You son of a bitch!"
Yeah. No, it happens all the time. Hell, my OBS Studio, I didn't even open it this time because there's no point. We can daisy chain it without OBS Studio, and
It's true.
it won't let me do this on this account for another 1 or 2 lives. So we'll cross the YouTube bridge next. That'll be the next thing, is trying to daisy chain and then have something on YouTube. And yeah, it's
Yep.
I mean, I'm just glad we didn't have guests on tonight, because that would have really been bad.
Oh, if we would have had guests, I would have just forgo one of the accounts and just joined you straight forward. It would have been, which is what we'll have to do when we have guests anyway. We'll have to just choose the accounts we're going with and just stick with
It'll
those.
probably just be, well, either these or this one and Nova.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I mean, A Jackson if we had to, if it wouldn't match, but I mean, that account's always there for us to use, just like Liberty's always there for us to use. Both of those have a bigger signal, I think, but
Yeah.
it is what it is, you know.
But if they, I don't know. Jen said she was gonna call me today, and I haven't heard back from her.
Well,
But if
we'll
if we ever have, I mean, it happens. I'm not like mad about it. But if we do have that conversation and get them on to have we might have to just do that on like Discord anyway, just so we can all be in the same pod.
Yeah, and it might be wiser just to pre-tape. But once again, we'd have to have OBS Studio to show it on here, I'm pretty sure.
No, you can through TikTok Live, as long as your computer works.
Yeah.
You can screen capture and listen.
Well, that
does let you
hasn't
do that.
unlocked yet for me on this account, but we could always switch over to Ajax, and that one's completely open. So
See, I can do that even on my account.
I don't know.
So,
maybe I can't. I don't know.
just-
I might have
it's
the
just one of the
capability, but
It's just one of the extra widgets on the side. You just have to know where to grab it, like add a source and stuff.
yeah.
Well, we can do that when we get there.
Yeah, add source. Okay, there it is. So, okay.
Yeah, I'm not. We can definitely get that moving. That's not a big deal. I just want to get the I don't know. We'll get with them too and see, and whoever wants to come and hang out. If not, then that's fine.
Tonight we I actually texted them that you would explain it, and I'll have clips for them to be able to share if they want to. They don't have to. It's another tool. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
whatever.
It'll be easier to explain without all the extra fun words and stuff. But yeah, I mean, you sent out that thing and it's got tables and stuff in it, which is nice.
Yep.
So.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna hop off here, take the trash out, and then, it is what it is. So, I mean, we'll figure it out for next week, and hopefully we'll have an actual topic. I know the last 2 we haven't really had a topic, but I just kind of wait to see if anything unfolds, and then it's kind of already stuff we had been researching since a certain date in 2024. So,
right.
Yeah. So that's the only thing that's going on right now. So hopefully that continues, and hopefully there's new things to discuss. Perhaps even a change of scenery for the orange underboss, but we'll see,
Dirt sounds good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a little 6 feet underground. It's nice and cool down there. So
you wanted a bunker so damn bad.
Exactly. Or for Yoo-hoo, that's fine too. Either one. Whoever wants to race the other one,
Yeah, race you to the finish line, motherfucker.
Yep. Just careening for it. But all right, well, we'll see you guys next week. It's been real, and take care.
Yep. Talk to you later.
See ya.
Bye.